I believe that innovation is products that work and that simplify the process. I have a pet peeve with people that innovate things that are not user-friendly and that go beyond the natural understanding of how something should work. So I particularly like, for example, with our blow dryer, the innovation to me was actually to create a blow dryer that was made with the curly, coily, tight textured community in mind,
Right.
that was intuitive in terms of where your hands went, some of the things that you particularly do as a person with curly, coily, and tight textured hair to make sure that it was responding to
Right.
those needs. To me, that's innovation.
What was the impetus of
It
both these
was,
things?
for me, a personal journey that I realized matched up with so many other people's personal journey, where there were products, tools, and a brand that didn't match our needs, that you could piecemeal find things here and there. But for all the years that I was learning to understand, love, and embrace my hair, I was dreaming of, if I just had, I wish I had, wouldn't it be amazing if there was? And then as my journey progressed, as my access to the world progressed, I realized it was actually something I could create. And then it took me 10 years.
Just a small amount of time.
And then it was a little bit of time getting that to come across the finish line. But
Going from idea to fruition,
Yeah.
like what gave you the patience to
Yeah.
do that, and like what was the first sort of
You know,
inkling like this is about to work?
it's so funny because I always say to people, everyone says dream big, but they don't tell you how to take that dream out of your head and make it come into the world. And so it was a lot of trial and error. It was a lot of experimenting with the things that I did know, bringing them into this world. The thing that kept me with my eye on the prize was I knew it was a need that needed to be met. I knew that there was an entire vast demographic of people and customers that were not being served. And there are often, because I am a customer myself, and that's how I started. Like, I didn't start as an entrepreneur or an actress. I started as a customer
Right.
who was looking for products that work for my hair. And so what kept me on the course was, I know this is something that is needed. And the evidence was only further supported back to me when in all those 10 years, I still didn't see it on the market. From my teenage years to the 10 years that I was trying to get the company off the ground, I still was not seeing what I knew I was looking for and so many people would benefit from. I like to keep the eye on the prize of why are we doing this? It was something, and that is something I learned from acting. So one of the things that Kenya always used to say on Blackish was, but would a human do that? And I translated that in the company, but like, do we need that? Like,
Right.
Is there a need for that product? Is there a need? We can't just innovate to innovate. It's gotta be for somebody. We're servicing a community. We are exceeding the needs of the curly, coily, and tight textured community. So anything we make needs to service that
Yeah.
community.
Last but not least, there's a quote of yours which I love. The basis for marketing is you have a problem you need to be ashamed of, and you need to buy this thing to improve. I disagree with that. Every product has to be marketed, but you go against the grain.
I shop the most when I feel the best. I don't shop the most when I feel bad about myself. And particularly when servicing the Black community, and particularly around hair, starting with the premise or the understanding that there's a problem that needs to be fixed inherently loses the focus of what I want to do and what I'm interested in. So to me, pattern is about celebrating the beauty and the glory and the legacy of our hair, and making sure that people's hair looks good and is also healthy.